All right, so this is going to be a watch list for the week of September 6th. So that's the Labor Day weekend. This is just for 1 week that you can use this analysis for. So starting off with SPY, the overall market, seeing which direction we'll go, right? So this is the monthly time frame. During the monthly time frame, the end of August, so at the beginning of August, we were looking somewhat bullish to where we could possibly reverse. Then towards the end of August, the monthly candle just did not look good at all. So because we switched from somewhat bullish to at the very end of August bearish, that gives me an idea of okay, we could possibly continue to go down to where either one we hit where we get near the lows where we were a couple of months ago. So for the month of June, July, or we make new lows, one of those two. I'm not sure which one it's going to be, but it does not matter. At the end of the day, I'm just playing the trades day by day. And if we make the lows, then great. If we don't, then that's fine too. And so for this week specifically, I'm looking for a hold of SPY holding 390. So here in this purple line is that 390 mark. Last Friday, we touched it, did not close below it. So what that means is that there's going to be a possible bounce back to the upside before breaking that 390 if we do break it. So Friday, we did gap up, and then we just sold off. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. So I'm going to use yesterday's high as a potential reversal. So say on Tuesday, say if we go up, we'll either be in Friday's range. If not, we could possibly break that high just to fall back down, or we could possibly go and test that 405 and then back down. Not entirely sure what's going to happen, but at the end of the day, I'm looking for that 390 break. When is it going to happen? I'm not sure, but I have to be patient on it. And so that 390 break is the biggest, is what I'm watching for the most this week. That 390 break. So here, this is the hourly time frame. So we are hovering at that 390. So say here we go back and we touch 390 again, right? So say we get here on Tuesday, we maybe go up a little bit, but then midday we just drop back down. At that point in time, we have possible 3 triple bottoms to where that could be a good potential play to the upside short term wise. As of right now, that's what it looks like, a short term bounce up. Or we can just wait and see if it holds and maybe play the downside. At the end of the day, 390 is the biggest support where we need to pay importance to. 390. Hold of 390, good. Loss of 390, bad. And so here we have one stock that I am watching in case if SPY does hold. So say if SPY consolidates, if not holds, then we will be looking at Netflix. So Netflix specifically, I am looking for, this is the 4-hour time frame, and there's some overlap in lines that are very close to each other. It's because one of the analysis is my own manual way of analyzing, and the second one is the Fibonacci's. And ironically, that they are pretty much identical. And when that happens, that means that the analysis is more likely to occur. And so what I mean by that is, take for example this. So I drew my Fibonacci's, and at 219.50 is some strong support. And what's been happening? We've been bouncing there. 1, 2, 3. 3 bounces at that 220. So that 220 or 219.50 to be exact, that's an important key level. If we drop below that, then I'm bear. If we hold that, I'm bull. I would rather it hold that 225 and it continue going up. But if we get back down there, I'm okay with waiting to see what happens, right? And so for me to see some momentum on this stock specifically, I would like it to get over that 233.63. 233.63 is this line right here, where I also have that little white line. So that right there once we get above that, then we can move some. We can move to at 237, 241, 244, 250, and that 251 would be a breakout. But ideally the play is here, waiting to see what happens with SPY. Say SPY holds, all right, waiting until it hits that 225 or waiting until it hits that 220 and then playing calls. If SPY doesn't hold and if it continues dropping, then this thing will most likely lose that 220. But this is kind of what we are looking for on Netflix. And lastly, we have XOM. XOM here I have hold over 93.83 is bull. I would prefer holding the 95.31. Stop loss for bull max is 91.86. So here I have a tight stop. This is more just like of a side play. So oil or energy. This is just in case if, you know, say I try to time SPY and for whatever reason I'm not aligning with SPY. Like say SPY goes up and I'm here trying to short it. There comes times as a trader, sometimes you just can't identify what the market could possibly do, or you can't react well, or you're reacting the complete opposite way. And so if I get stuck in that zone, I don't want to continue trading SPY or Netflix or something that goes hand in hand with SPY, because it may not be my day to do that, to trade stocks that are aligning with SPY. And so I like to have another stock on the side, something that isn't as linear as where if SPY goes up, this stock goes up. And that one would be energy in this case. And so energy I have here, we'll start with the daily. Actually, we'll start with the weekly. All right, so here that 105 is the all-time highs. Let me check its all-time highs. Yep, highs, at least for the past couple of years, it's been all-time highs, right? So we are nearing all-time highs. This is the monthly candle. So we hit a high here, we sold off, went back up, touched here, closed August kind of like with an indecision, and here we are with September. So September is what I'm looking at, right? So this pattern looked pretty bullish, where consolidation, broke out. We did catch some gains here, one consolidation, and so this can go different ways. It can do maybe a 1 2 3 pattern, so consolidation one day and then pop up. It can consolidate some more for a couple of weeks. It can break this low and us go down. And so what I'm looking for on the daily is that, first and foremost, I would prefer it not to break that 91.86. If it breaks that 91.86, then I just start caring less about it, on it being bullish. I'm not really gonna analyze it as much or be focused on it as much if it breaks that 91.86, just because at that point in time it could just be chop or consolidation, and I just do not want to be stuck in something that I'm trying to force for it to go up. Now, if we hold that 91.86 and we never get below there, and specifically if we hold that 93.83, that purple line, if we hold all those and we grind up to that 101.20, I will be looking for that breakout to 104.61, and then all-time highs, and then just making a higher high pretty much. And so biggest thing on XOM right here, holding that 93.83 is what I care about for it being bull. It does look bullish, and I will be watching this one. Here we have a bounce here, got below it, got right back above it, and we're right here. This is the hourly. We could go back down to that 93.83, and we could bounce right at that support and hit that 101. As you can see here, this line right here, 96.58, we touched here once and we dropped. Actually, We dropped, we touched it here once, we dropped, got it right here again, dropped, got here again, dropped. But notice how when we dropped this time, we got lower. Here, we touched it and we dropped, but we didn't get as low. And so on the hourly time frame, that's kind of what I'm going to be looking at. Okay, are we going to get lower than this? Or are we going to stay here and get higher? And if we get higher than that 96.58, then we could continue going up. And so ideally, that's the thesis behind XOM. Just trying to be patient on it, wait for higher highs. If it does happen, great. Currently, we are in long calls. Those long calls are up a small percentage, but I would like to keep them that way. I would prefer them not going red. And if we get above that 96.58, then I could see that being the new stop loss. And if that is the new stop loss, then we have a tight stop. And if we have a tight stop, then we have more opportunity to the upside and more opportunity to hold that those contracts.